Today I'm going to bring you into something that I've created that has been looming in the back of my mind for years as something that I wish that I would have had at the peak of my wedding filmmaking career when I was shooting anywhere from 20 to 35 weddings per year. Something that would have saved me a ton of time on my editing. But the question is for you as the viewer, do you like saving time? And I think the answer is obviously yes. Then give me just a few minutes to explain something to you. But the way we're going to do it is going to be sort of a little bit different. If you can hang with me, if you can let me explain this new idea to you, I really think you're going to save yourself so much time and headache while editing over the next year. You see, to me, editing a wedding film is a lot like Legos, or more so building with Legos. It's something that you've probably done many times before, maybe as a kid, maybe as an adult. And no matter what set of Legos you get, before you start, you have a picture on the box of what the end goal piece might end up looking like. And one of the first things you do when you open a box is dump all the pieces out, grab the instruction book, and start working through the steps. But what if you opened up a box of Legos and there were no instructions? How much longer would it take for you to put all these pieces together? The answer, at least in my case, is far, far longer. And I might just end up walking away and forgetting the Lego project entirely. And that part of walking away in frustration kind of reminds me of our journey as wedding filmmakers. You see, editing a wedding film was a lot like building with Legos. You've got all these different pieces: drone getting ready shots, portraits, speech audio, flat lay video, vows, dancing footage, first looks with mom, dad, sister, or bride and groom, and the list goes on and on. It's a lot to deal with, a lot to put together, and the consistent thing that you can always expect when opening a wedding film project is that it's going to be different every single time. But the biggest difference between putting together a wedding film and building a Lego set is there is no instruction booklet with putting together a wedding film. And I think that idea is intimidating to a lot of editors. You've got an end goal in mind, and maybe you've done it before, but how are you supposed to make each film unique over and over and over again? And moreover, how do you keep finding unique music for each wedding as it comes? That part, to me, is daunting. I feel like a lot of us can agree that getting that first 25% of the film up and going is the hardest part. Finding the music, cutting it up, stringing it all together. I mean, once we have that foundation, it's a lot easier to get the next 75% of the film done, right? And I think the reason for that is that we don't have an instruction booklet for all of our pieces like with Legos. We need something else to creatively guide us. And I think what does that for us as wedding filmmakers is music. I mean, music is the bedrock of creativity for us as humans in this entire experience of life. And I know you know the feeling of finally having the right song and feeling that inspiration flow. And so, going back to Legos, I actually ended up finding in this huge aisle of a bunch of different sets and stuff, a set of Legos with no instructions, no clear end goal in mind. It was the most analogous set to putting together a wedding film that I could find. And if we're comparing the difficulty of putting together a wedding film from scratch to building with Legos, what if you open the box and this was already sitting there? I mean, it's nothing crazy. Maybe 20-30% of the pieces have been used. A lot is still left to be done. But now you have a direction for where you're going to be taking the rest of this set. I want to pose a similar solution that's now available to you as a wedding filmmaker. What if you didn't have to sit there frustrated for hours, if not days, looking for music? What if it was already at least started for you? For over a year, I've been sitting in my office thinking of ways that I could expedite the process of editing for wedding filmmakers. And I think I finally found a solution. And those are pre-built music foundations for wedding filmmakers in DaVinci, Premiere, and Final Cut. So what are these pre-built music foundations? Well, they're exactly what you see here. You open a project and boom, the music foundation for a wedding film, that hard part is already in place for you. 20 different structures for 20 different wedding films, actually. And the music is already selected, stacked, and cut to flow with your vows and speeches. Now, all you need to do is look at the notes I've included, which is kind of like having an instruction booklet. Find one of the 20 structures that works the best for the wedding you're working on and start dropping your clips in. You see, now you have a luxury that most Lego builders actually never have. A pre-built foundation ready to go for you as you open a project and begin. So let's put the Legos down for a minute and jump into one of these 3 editing softwares so I can show you exactly what these templates are all about. All right, well, we've broken the computer out. This will be exactly the same in DaVinci and Final Cut. I just happen to use Premiere. And I'll go ahead and show this to you guys. Here are all 20 of the different timelines. And so we got 10 different general wedding films. And so there's 2, there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't need to click through all of them. We got 5 elopement, got Latin American multi-day destination weddings, and then just for fun, vintage. Now, if you look at these little markers all throughout it here, these are little notes that I'll have made throughout here saying, you know, like great place for some vow or speech audio. You know, so I'm making notes all throughout these things to you guys to let you know what you should be doing. Bride entrance right here, crescendo of ceremony portion, first kiss, great spot for final vow or speech audio. Something I like to do with my edits is I like to do something called the hype sandwich. So I like starting really hype, getting into the romantic portion and ending with a fun dance song. You're going to see that a lot throughout all of these general wedding ones. That's going to be the general formula. How we do that. Let's listen to this one here.
All eyes on the way I vibe when I walk into the room.
Classic, My World by Warcuff.
This is my world now. This is my world now.
Get them hyped up at the beginning. You're teasing everything. And then I've added a wind sound effect. We let this breathe. Fade in some vow audio here. Jason, since the day I saw you there at that football game, making that joke, I knew that I wanted to be with you. Blah, 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 blah. She keeps talking. And then right here, I said, this is where I'm going to cut. Then this is where I'm going to do getting ready portion. And so I have this all laid out for you guys. And so keep going. Guest arriving at the ceremony. We're gonna fade back out here. I'm just piecing the song all together just to make it work for a wedding film. Bride coming down the aisle. Another note about adding an additional part. Then crescendo. Dude, perfect wedding song there. So this particular edit is right around 7 minutes and 39 seconds with availability to be extended. Let's just jump to General Wedding 5. I'm going to go quicker here. Softer. Softer. Fades out. Ooh, this is a good song. Come on now. Let's see what song is at the end. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. So we got a lots. There's General Wedding 6. A little bit happier, lighter feel, General Wedding 3.
Friday night, think I might take a chance and come out to play.
Skip forward to the meat of the song. Remember, hype sandwich, hype, romantic, hype. Nice soft beginning here. Fade in a drone shot, portrait, something from the reception if you're fading into speeches. Dude, great song. This song actually made me tear up when I was editing it. So I faded the end of this song out. I said I hated the ending of it, so I just faded it out. Let it breathe for a second.
Hold on, let me live. Hey, want a critic song, quicker to forgive.
Dude. Dude, that's a great dance song. Elopement. It's gonna be more epic vibes. Latin American. What you just saw is like opening the box and finding the Legos already half built. What you just saw has the potential to save you a ton of time, headache, and frustration, leaving you with more time to focus on building your story, making the best wedding film possible, and giving you your time back, most importantly. Now, if you end up snagging these templates, you're going to get 2 free months off of a yearly music bed subscription, which is already worth more than the price of these templates on their own. And because you watched this video all the way to this point, I'm going to give you 15% off of these timelines whenever you enter the code Stanton Timeline at checkout, all one word. I'm seriously so stoked for you to have something that is going to just be drag and drop to start saving you so many hours without having to do a ton of work, all while being creatively inspired with a ton of options for how to edit your wedding films together. Can't wait for you to crack into these. So if you have any questions questions. I'm a real human that is mindlessly on my Instagram way too much anyway, so feel free to reach out at @filmsbystanton on Instagram with the DM, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time.